You just scanned your own groceries, bagged your own items, and did the entire checkout yourself. The screen flips around 20%, 25%, 30%. Who exactly are you tipping? The machine? The scanner that beeped? Your own labor? Welcome to the new reality where tipping has gone completely insane. And today we're counting down the 10 most shameless places asking for tips that have absolutely no shame whatsoever. We've all felt it. That confusion when a tip screen appears somewhere it shouldn't. That guilt when you hit no tip for scanning a pre-made sandwich. But you weren't crazy. These businesses know exactly what they're doing. We're ranking these by pure audacity mixed with how much they're screwing you over.
Drive-through! Oh my God.
Tips have been on the rise for decades. During the 1950s, people commonly tipped 10% of the bill. By the 1970s and 1980s, that jumped to 15%. Today, people tip anywhere from 15 to 25%. According to one 2022 survey, consumers said they tipped more than 21% on average.
By number one, you'll understand why 60% of Americans say tipping culture has lost its mind. Stick around because number one went viral and it's so absurd you won't believe it's real. Number 10 on our list is pick your own strawberry farms asking for tips when you make a reservation. Yes, really. You call to book a time slot to pick strawberries, doing all the labor yourself, and they want a tip for answering the phone and writing your name in a book. This showed up in Bankrate's 2024 survey as prime tip creep, the industry spreading where it has no business being. You're paying admission to work in their field, and they want extra on top. One customer reported being asked to tip 15% just to reserve a spot where they'd be doing agricultural labor. You're providing the picking, the bending, the back pain, and now the tip. It's like tipping a gym for letting you use the treadmill. Number 9 takes self-service to a new level of absurdity. Number 9 is self-serve frozen yogurt shops with tip jars at the register. You walk in, grab your cup, pull your own lever, add your own toppings, weigh your own yogurt, and bring it to a cashier who just takes payment. That's it. Yet there's a tip jar with strategic dollar bills and screens asking for 18 to 25%. Multiple customers ask the reasonable question, what service am I tipping for? The cashier isn't making anything. You did everything except ring yourself up. Some employees admitted they get upset if customers don't tip, which is wild since the customer did their job. Pure guilt-based profit extraction, but that's optional. Number 8 suggests specific amounts that'll shock you. Number 8 is cookie shops, specifically crumble cookies, asking for a 44% tip on a $4.50 cookie. The Iowa Capital Dispatch found suggested tips of $2 to $4 on a single cookie under $5. A $4 tip on $4.50 is 89%. Even the low $2 is 44%. Standard restaurant service is 15 to 20%, and that's for someone who takes orders, brings food, refills drinks, and cleans up. At Crumble, someone hands you a box of pre-made cookies. 30 seconds of interaction. Employees make minimum wage plus tips, which workers called welcome but not necessary. Translation: the business works fine without your guilt money, but they'll take it. This is tipflation, and number 7 shows it's about location. Number 7 is self-checkout machines at airports asking for 20% tips. You're at Newark Airport, grab a pre-made sandwich from a fridge, walk to a self-service kiosk, scan it yourself, and the screen asks for a tip. For what? The electricity keeping it cold? The Wall Street Journal documented this spreading nationwide. One customer said he felt zero guilt hitting no tip, and he's right. There's no human labor except yours. You pulled it from the fridge, scanned it, and you'll carry it to your gate. Yet someone programmed that machine to ask for money anyway. You should tip a robot exactly nothing. Number 6 is where this gets systematically deceptive. Number 6 is stadium self-checkout kiosks asking for 15 to 25% tips. Major stadiums have installed systems where you grab your hot dog, scan it, pay, and leave. No server, no cashier, just a tip prompt that wasn't there when actual workers existed. The Seahawks Stadium has Amazon Just Walkout technology. You grab items, walk out, cameras track you, and some locations still ask for tips. For cameras, companies built these to cut labor costs and still ask customers to tip. Perfect scam. Eliminate workers. Keep prices price is high. Collect tips. You paid $12 for a beer you grabbed yourself, and they want 3 more on top. Number 5, moved this scam online where nobody's watching. Number 5 is online clothing retailers asking for tips at checkout. You're shopping from your couch, clicking through a website, and at checkout, a tip option appears. For what? The website loading? One restaurant owner said he sees tip requests when I purchase clothing online, and he knows the service industry. There's no stylist, no server. Warehouse workers are hourly employees not working for tips. Companies are testing how far they can push the guilt button. They're counting on habit, even with zero human interaction. Some use the same systems as coffee shops and never turned off tip prompts. It's ambient deception. Before we continue, we're only at number 5. The top 5 aren't just asking for tips, they're actively tricking you and costing you real money. Number 5 is DMV third-party locations with tip jars for legally required services. Arizona State Express Motor Services installed jars labeled tips, appreciated at every window in 2016. The owner said customers tried tipping for going above and beyond, like making calls, but that's their job. That's what the service fee covers. These aren't servers making $2.13 an hour, they're customer service reps with full wages providing government services. Representatives collect $4 to $10 daily, over $1,000 yearly for doing their job. The owner installed jars because on camera it looked like employees pocketed money. Instead of explaining tips aren't appropriate, he made it official. Now you're tipping to process vehicle registration you're legally required to complete. It's like tipping your accountant for filing taxes. Number 4 is where deception goes digital. Number 4 is the Hopper travel app automatically adding tips that go to the company, not workers. ABC7 investigated in 2023 and found that when you book hotels or flights, a tip is automatically added, not suggested, added. You must toggle it off, and many don't notice until checking receipts. Often 10 to 15% of your booking. On a $500 hotel, that's $75. Here's the illegal part. When asked where it goes, Hopper admitted this tip goes to Hopper and is completely optional, not to reps or agents, to Hopper, the corporation. Consumer Watchdog called it a surcharge masquerading as a tip. In California, calling something a tip when it doesn't go to workers is illegal. Hopper's in Canada, so they claim different rules. They're using tip to trick you into extra money while defaulting it on. Digital pickpocketing dressed as gratitude. Number 3 is where audacity broke the internet. Number 3 is landlords asking for tips on rent payments. In 2023, a viral TikTok showed a mock scenario where a landlord flips an iPad after rent payment, showing a tip screen. 20%, 25%, custom. The landlord argues, you'll tip a barista, but not the guy on call 24/7 for your safe home? 8 million views and brutal comments. People noted tenants already pay rent, the landlord's income. Tipping your landlord is like tipping your mortgage company, financially illiterate. But here's the disturbing part. It wasn't entirely satire. One Reddit tenant posted a screenshot of their actual rent portal with a 25% tip option. Others confirmed seeing similar screens on property management systems from Appfolio and Buildium. These portals use restaurant payment processors with default tip prompts. Whether landlords left them on intentionally is unclear, but tenants are prompted to tip on record high rent. One commenter calculated 20% on $2,000 rent is $400 monthly, $4,800 yearly for someone to own a building you live in. Number 2 shows how mainstream this has become. Number 2 is Crumble Cookies for systematic corporate implementation across their entire franchise. We mentioned them at 8, but they deserve higher for deliberately implementing this across 900 locations nationwide. They're not a struggling local bakery trying to survive. They're a massive corporate entity pulling in hundreds of millions. Yet every single store has tip prompts suggesting 44% on individual cookies. Employees interviewed anonymously said, customers actually get upset if workers don't flip the screen around to ask for tips, meaning Crumble has successfully conditioned an entire customer base to expect guilt. Workers said tips make them feel better about their job, but aren't necessary since they make minimum wage or above. So these are not tipped employees like servers. They're retail workers with full hourly pay. The company could pay $2 more hourly and raise prices 50 cents, but externalize that cost through guilt-based tipping. Industry experts explain the strategy. Keep prices seemingly low to attract customers, recover margins through pressured tips. Deceptive pricing. You think you're buying a $4.50 cookie, but you're really buying $6.50. You just don't know until the screen flips. Crumble made $101 million in 2022. They can afford fair wages. They choose not to because tip prompts are more profitable. Now, number one, so absurd it went viral and changed how millions think about tipping. The number one most shameless place is a self-serve frozen yogurt shop that requires tip selection before completing purchase. This went viral on TikTok in October 2024 when customer Leilani posted her experience that got over 2 million views. She walked in, filled her bowl, added toppings, brought it to the scale, and swiped her card. The machine rejected payment. She tried again. Rejected. Tried inserting the chip. Rejected. She started panicking because a line formed behind her and her card had money. She just checked her balance. She tried swiping, tapping, inserting. Nothing worked. Other customers stared, getting impatient, probably thinking she was broke.
I was like, my mistake. I didn't realize. I will cover the cost of this. I'll make sure the server gets tipped out. And he's Italian. He's like, no.
Finally, an employee came over and casually showed her the problem. The machine wouldn't process payment until she selected a tip option first. Not suggested. Required. You physically couldn't buy yogurt you'd already served until making a tip decision. You could choose no tip, but had to actively engage with the screen. Think about what that means. You walked in, grabbed a bowl, pulled a lever on an automatic machine, added toppings from a self-serve bar, weighed your product, and brought it to checkout. Zero human service. Then the business designed their system to hold your purchase hostage until you acknowledge the tip prompt. It's digitally blocking the exit until you put money in their jar. The video sparked massive outrage because it perfectly encapsulated everything wrong with modern tipping. Automation to cut labor, elimination of workers, retention of tip expectations, and weaponization of payment systems to enforce it. Commenters called it emotional blackmail, tip extortion, and hostage negotiation. The shop makes customers do 100% of work, pays remaining workers full wages, provides zero service, and programs their system to force a tip decision. They know conflict-averse people will hit 10 or 15% to escape, even though there's nothing to tip for. Psychological manipulation through interface design, this is number one because it represents the final form of tip creep. Mandatory engagement with your guilt. Not a jar you can ignore, not a screen you can quickly tap no on. A system that won't let you complete a transaction until you perform the emotional labor of giving free money or explicitly saying no to tipping for service that never happened. So what did we learn? Your suspicions were completely valid. When you felt weird tipping a self-checkout machine, you were right. When you questioned why a cookie costs $4.50 but tips start at $2, you were right to question it. When you wondered why your landlord's portal has a tip option, you weren't crazy. These aren't isolated incidents. They're coordinated business strategy to extract more money without raising prices or paying workers more. 60% of Americans have negative views about tipping, and these 10 examples show why. The real tip: trust your instincts. When something feels wrong, it is. Next time a screen asks you to tip for service you provided yourself, remember, the no tip button exists for a reason. Use it. If this made you realize you're not alone in your tipping frustration, subscribe for more investigations into things companies hope you won't notice because they're counting on your guilt. Don't let them.